Happy New Year. It's time for the NFL's new league year, which starts on Wednesday. And we've got you covered from Dak all the way to Zack on this edition of the Blitz, which starts right now.
Pops out to the right, breaks a tackle. They blitz it. Prescott throws it down the right side for Lamb. Caught it! Back to throw, rush, sacked by Parsons.
Belt tie snap. Prescott with plenty of time. Lobs it end zone. Jake Ferguson.
All right, here we go. It is time for one of the busiest and most exciting weeks of the year, every year, as it is the new league year for the NFL. And welcome to the Blitz. Bill Jones along with Nicole Hutchison this week as Kyle Yeomans is away. And yes, it all starts 3 o'clock Dallas time on Wednesday. That's officially when the new league year starts, but it really starts on Monday. That's when we get learning about all of the free agent signings and what's going to happen on Wednesday. But really, Nicole, it all actually started for the Cowboys this past week. They're already busy behind the scenes here at the Star.
Busy behind the scenes. We've got Osa Odighizuwa, who obviously is the start of the new signings for the Cowboys, but hopefully we get some more going.
There's some money that's been freed up. There's some salary cap space around here. It'll be interesting to see what the Cowboys do. But let's start with Osa Odighizuwa. It is a new multi-year contract for the most coveted free agent probably in this class as far as the Cowboys are concerned. The defensive tackle, 4 years, $80 million, $58 million guaranteed, and this was a big signing for the Cowboys.
Huge signing, specifically when you're talking about the new defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, and what he wants to do here in his new scheme. It's heavily reliant on the defensive line, right? He wants to get home with 4, and it starts obviously with that 3 technique position, and it's very hard to come by with a guy like Osa Odighizuwa. I mean, you look back at what he did in 2024. He had his career best in tackles, sacks, 4.5 by the way, quarterback hits 23, and actually second on the team in pressures behind Micah Parsons. He stepped up when Micah Parsons was absent as well, but you have to think about the guy that he is on and off the field. He's a locker room guy. He's well respected. He does not cause any issues at all, and he is a guy that wants to work out. He loves to work, so that's what they need and what they specifically want here in Dallas.
He doesn't miss games either throughout the first 4 years of his career. It is a big signing. Even looking around the league, you compare him with other interior defensive linemen around the league. His 60 quarterback pressures, second in the league behind only Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, there's some other things that the Cowboys have done, and this was expected this past week with the Dak Prescott contract, with the CD Lamb contract. There was going to be restructuring going on, freeing up cap space, and that is why the Cowboys now have some cap space to work with if they do see a free agent they want to go after this week.
Yeah, about $57 million in salary cap space, but I want to just note the fact that how selfless this is for guys like CD Lamb and Dak Prescott to step up and say, hey, we'll wait for our money to get to us in the back end. And CD Lamb actually said that, on Twitter, he tweeted, I want to win, and it is not going to just be about myself in order to do that. So, I mean, they haven't had a marquee signing since the cornerback Brandon Carr in 2012. Of course, they've had other free agencies like Stephon Gilmore in 2023, Brandon Cooks, Eric Kendricks last year, who was the leading tackler for the Dallas Cowboys. So there's a lot of moves that the Cowboys can make, but hopefully they put the savings to good use.
Well, and they will contend they've already made one big free agent signing, and that is their own, and that's Osa Odigizuwa. All right, we're just getting started on this edition of the Blitz. A little bit later, we are going to pay tribute, like the Cowboys did, to one of the greatest players in Cowboys history, Zack Martin. And up next, it's Osa Odigizuwa himself talking about that big contract when the Blitz continues.
The Dallas Cowboys Blitz, presented by Blockchain.com, is brought to you by AT&T, an official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to the Blitz here inside the Globe Life studios at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Nicole Hutchison. He was a third-round draft pick out of UCLA 4 years ago, and I would say the Cowboys had a pretty good third-round draft pick that year. Wouldn't you, Nicole?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the 4-year, $80 million contract says a lot, speaks volumes for Osa Odighizuwa. But when I talked to him, got a chance to go one-on-one with him about this new signing, but something stood out to me the most. He said to myself and Patrick Nosey-Walker from DallasCowboys.com that his mom never has to work again. So this contract is obviously priceless for him, but it means a whole lot more for his mom.
My mom means everything to me. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be sitting here across from you if it wasn't for my mom. Wouldn't be where I'm at without her. So just being able to take care of her means the world to me.
Can you walk us through the process? Was it stressful at all for you and trying to kind of get this deal done?
A little bit. I feel like just the limbo. It was kind of like pre-draft again, not knowing what was going to happen, whether or not I would be even coming back here or if I would be somewhere else. I had kind of made peace with it at the end of the season, but it's always just stressful not knowing. But I was confident that I was going to be able to get something done. I was going to be playing somewhere, so just it was a matter of where, you know.
Well, especially because of the season that you had. You know, Mike Zimmer got the best out of you in terms of career best, by the way, in terms of sacks, quarterback hits, tackles as well. And something that you had tweeted after you signed the contract was the reward for all your hard work is more work. What does that look like in terms of you taking your game to the next level?
I feel like building on the body of work that I've put in the first 4 years and I think there's even more gears that I could reach. There's a lot of things that I've left on the field still in terms of stats and what I'm capable of, or just like production. And then just in terms of accolades, there's still goals that I want to achieve as well. So
a lot left out there. We love to hear that as well. But as a third-round pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, was this the vision that you foresaw happening for you?
1,000%. I wouldn't say I had like a dollar amount like in vision, but I just knew the end goal is to reach a second contract. That's something that a lot of people can't say that they've done.
And something that's been obviously a big selling point for your new contract was the fact that you've stayed healthy for your entire career. And you've always talked to me about how you worked on boxing, you took up boxing, you also took up Pilates as well. That's kind of helped your body. How much do you feel like that will be key for you maintaining your durability in this league?
Huge. I think it's going to be huge. Not boxing and Pilates per se, but just the routine that I have, just all the things that I do to take care of my body is it's going to add longevity to my career. That's why I've been doing it. That's why I've operated the way that I have since I've been here. I've been trying to have a long career. That's been the plan. You know, at least 8 was the plan. So I think we're still in that realm. And I think once we get there, I'm just gonna check and see how my body feels, and if we can keep going, keep going.
Is there anything that you're thinking about taking on in terms of helping your game improve?
I feel like I have a pretty good formula, I'm not gonna lie. I like the things that I've done so far. Obviously, just looking for different ways to improve. I can't say not in terms of like what I do on the field, but in terms of like taking care of my body. I can't say that there's like a stone that I haven't unturned just yet. There's nothing that I can think of off the top of my head to do.
There's a lot left in the tank for Osa Odighizuwa, but there's also a lot left in that interview as well. You can catch the full interview on DallasCowboys.com. We also dove into Osa's excitement getting into this Matt Eberflus scheme and more, so make sure to check it out.
Well, it's going to be interesting, too. I think it's interesting when you dive into the signing here, because had the Cowboys let him walk out the door, he might have been walking all the way to Washington, D.C., because there's a certain head coach there that's very familiar with him and, in fact, drafted him back 4 years ago.
Oh, Dan Quinn, I don't know. He's had these issues before. I don't want to see it happen again.
Nope, and it's not happening again. Cowboys made sure of that this past week. All right, we got much more to get to here on the Blitz. How about free agency and what the Cowboys might do? Let's explore both on offense and defense when we come back.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Reliant, the official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
This week in Cowboys history, it was 32 years ago that the Dallas Cowboys became the first sports team in the modern era to visit the White House after winning a championship. It happened in 1993 as former President Bill Clinton welcomed the Cowboys after beating the Buffalo Bills 52-17 in Super Bowl 27 in Pasadena.
What a Super Bowl that was, the first of 3 Super Bowl wins in the span of 4 years in the 90s. Welcome back to the Blitz. Bill Jones with Nicole Hutchison. And now it's time to dive into free agency. Again, it kicks off on Wednesday. Let's give you the key dates to kick things off here because officially the signings can come on Wednesday afternoon. But starting on Monday, and you look at this past week, what the Cowboys have already done with the Osa Odighizuwa, signing the contract, and things are getting hot and heavy right now. But let's dive into what the Cowboys are looking for, because there's so many free agents that are out there that the Cowboys have, so many holes to fill on this team. Let's start on offense. Where do you think the biggest needs are offensively, Nicole?
Bill, you're talking my language. Let's go. I'm going to go wide receiver first just because, the Cowboys, you look at the numbers specifically, they finished 11th passing offense, and it doesn't quite tell the full story, though. CeeDee Lamb obviously making a lot more of that production with over 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, but it was a significant drop-off with guys like Jalen Tolbert, who only had 610, 7 touchdowns. He was more of that red zone guy, trusted in the red zone, but he lost a little bit of his confidence when Dak Prescott went out for the rest of the season and had to play with Cooper Rush. Also, you had guys like Kevontae Turpin who had some flashes, but just in my opinion, I didn't feel like he was used right. So, again, it's not all on the receivers in. I think there's just Dak needs a reliable number 2 receiver. So I'm definitely going to start there.
And running back is another one. Of course, Rico Dowdle is a free agent. We know what the Cowboys are looking for in the draft as far as drafting a running back, but they also need to sign a veteran running back, don't they?
Yeah, and why not stick with Rico Dowdle? This was a rushing offense that finished 27th in the league, 31st in red zone offense, 6 rushing touchdowns as a whole. But Rico Dowdle, he proved so much in his vision. His efficiency was there as well. When you have a healthy offensive line, again, that helps a running back. And you saw that improvement towards the end of the season with Rico. So hopefully, I know Brian Schottenheimer said that he wants to start and evaluate what they have now and then kind of look elsewhere. So hopefully they take that evaluation and move forward with Rico Dowdle.
All right, already made one move, signing Osa on defense, but Chauncey Golston is a free agent. There's others on the defensive line, and then Jordan Lewis also at cornerback.
I don't know. We talk about you got to get Micah Dunn first. This defensive line, the depth is just not there. You talk about the injuries that this team faced starting at training camp. Sam Williams out in training camp. Then you had Marshawn Nealon go out for quite some time. DeMarcus Lawrence missed a big chunk of the season as well. And then Micah Parsons missing 4 games. You had guys like Carl Lawson and Chauncey Golston step up, but you need depth, specifically, though, at DT. And this defensive tackle class in the 2024 and 2025 NFL draft is really deep.
All right, that's just a look ahead what the Cowboys might do in free agency, the holes that need to be filled. And up next, flag football comes to the Star in Frisco. Not just any flag football, it's girls flag football when we come back.
This segment was brought to you by Reliant, the official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you'll top the rest.
Dr. Seuss books are known for high energy, fun, and surprises. That's exactly what was in store for the students at Uplift Triumph Preparatory when the Dallas Cowboys made a special visit in partnership with Dairy Max in a Tackle Reading and National School Breakfast Week event.
They understand how important it is that they are here in this moment, and they really do have people around them that truly care about them.
Unslumping yourself is not easily done.
The players and cheerleaders shared the importance of fueling their minds and bodies with healthy breakfasts and also stressed that reading leads to opportunities throughout life.
I just think that reading is super important, and it's definitely shaped both of us, and it's in every facet of life.
As students, we're learning a lot, right? So our brains are taking in so many new things all the time, so we need to fuel ourselves with energy and things that are going to help us focus throughout the day.
We learned about how reading is important in general, about where you can use reading in sports and different type of places.
1, 2, 3.
For the Dallas Cowboys Blitz, I'm Pamela Jagger-Purcell.
Cowboys doing some great things in the community, and as the Blitz continues now, there's a big event coming to the Star in Frisco this spring. It's girls flag football, and Kyle Yeomans has more.
There is something special happening in the Lone Star State. In celebration with Women's History Month, the Dallas Cowboys announced the formation of regional high school girls flag football leagues across the state of Texas, set to begin play this spring. Over 140 schools will begin competing in Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, and El Paso, up from just 26 schools across the state in 2024.
This is so exciting to see all of these girls in here that are just giddy about football. I remember growing up, it was called powder puff football, but it was just an after-school pickup game. And now to see that this game, the game of flag football, has the opportunity to send girls to college is truly amazing. And then beyond that, to send them to the Olympics. I mean, we are really made such incredible strides.
The exciting announcement was made at AT&T Stadium and included appearances from Cowboys staff members, USA football representatives, coaches, players, and Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott.
Good luck. And what I love about this flag football and the game of football is it's all inclusive. There's something for everyone of every size, every shape to be able to contribute and ultimately contribute to a team. And that's what I love most about football. It's creating opportunities. And as you said, is what I spoke about. Just being a girl dad, I want to champion everything that I can not only give my daughters but other girls the opportunities to do everything and anything in life.
While the growth of the sport has been tremendous, the ultimate goal would be having girls flag football sanctioned by the UIL, cementing its place among Texas high school athletics, possibly before the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles.
I'd say we're about halfway there. Texas is a big state, so we need to make sure that we cover all ends of the state. We're starting down in El Paso beyond our own market, and hopefully that will spread and we will be able to hit that mark. If not next year, by the next year for sure. We're excited for the growth, we're excited for the opportunity, and excited to see what these young girls make of this.
For Dallas Cowboys Media, I'm Kyle Yeomans.
Girls flag football, one of the fastest growing sports in Texas. We wrap up the Blitz in just a moment, and we pay tribute to the future Hall of Famer, Zack Martin.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today. To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. The Dallas Cowboys Blitz, presented by Blockchain.com, was brought to you by AT&T, an official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com.
Football has been a part of my life since I was 7 years old. It shaped me, challenged me, and gave me my purpose. On May 8th, 2014, my life changed forever when I was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. I had no idea Dallas was even a possibility, but when I got the call, I was hungry and motivated to make a difference. What I love most about football is being part of a team. There's something about going through the grind with your guys, pushing through the mud, that builds bonds like no other. Playing in the NFL is an honor, but wearing the star on my helmet was a privilege I'll never take for granted. There's a deep sense of pride in knowing that I gave everything I had to one team, one city, and one organization my entire career. I'll never forget sitting in those seats years ago, listening to my teammate, Jason Witten, talk about how the journey is the reward. He was right. Every rep, every practice, every battle won and lost along the way, it all mattered. Football will always be a part of me, and always be grateful for the journey.
Love seeing all those former teammates of Zack Martin on Wednesday here at the Stars. The Cowboys paid tribute to one of their greatest players in franchise history.
I mean, a lot of heartfelt words from Zack. Obviously, a lot of emotion from Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones as well in that press conference. But I mean, you look at just the stats alone, that doesn't even speak about the kind of person that Zack Martin was here. Not only to just myself, but everyone in this building, everyone that he came in contact with. So it was a pleasure to be able to cover Zack in just a short amount of time.
And oh, by the way, there's another free agent need there, offensive guard. All right, that does it for this edition of The Blitz. For Nicole Hutchison, I'm Bill Jones, and we will see you again next week.